Hi, this is new for me. I'm Caleb, and I hope you're having a good day. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. If you don't already know me, I run a channel called Pandastra on YouTube and Twitch, and I usually do gaming content. But last year I came out as trans online, and I thought, why don't I share my journey with everyone? I thought that it's really important to share your journey online to help others, especially younger people who are going through the start of their transition. And since I'm at the start of my transition, I thought it'd be interesting to start now and just see where this channel goes. My content will probably be updating on my transition, talking about different trans stuff, things going on in the community, reacting to memes, and possibly even more things about just my life, music. I really enjoy going to gigs and possibly even making music and covers in the future. For this video, I put out a little ask me questions thing on my Discord and my Twitter, and I've collected some of the questions from there, and we are going to go through them whilst I talk about my transition. So I started questioning my gender identity at around the age of 13. At that point, I didn't really know much about the LGBT community or trans community or really anything. I had just started getting involved in like online communities, and I started to see LGBTQ and things pop up around. At that time, I was mainly questioning my sexuality and not necessarily my gender, but it's definitely crossed my mind a couple of times. So I started changing my pronouns online. I had a little Discord channel, which is just like my pronoun mess, and I would change it pretty much every day, as I had no clue what was going on. I started watching videos by like No Offense, and Jammy Dodger, and I just started to learn a lot about the trans community. And this links into the question that Sid had on Twitter. What made you realise that you were not cis? For me, it was definitely just hearing about other people's experiences and that kind of clicking with the kind of uncomfortableness I felt about myself or my own style and my body that I kind of never had a way to explain. And hearing other people talking about it, like Noah, Jamie, and Theo, just kind of unlocked that terminology that I could then use to describe myself. I identified as gender fluid, kind of online and between close friends, and I was around October last year, and I was struggling a lot with mental health, and just I was very confused. I had no idea what was going on. I was changing my pronouns, as I said, a lot during that time, and I didn't really know kind of what my gender identity was. I had friends constantly telling me, whilst I identify as gender fluid, aren't you just trans? You're gonna end up coming out as trans. I denied it, but they were right. They were very right. It's funny how people around you seem to know you a lot better than you know yourself sometimes. In November of 2021, I came out as trans to my close friends and changed my name. We had kind of like a whole discussion of like names to go through, and eventually I kind of like settled on Caleb, as it had been kind of like a strong one from the start of kind of like gender neutral names that were a little bit more out there. But I do like it, and I know that like quite a lot of people do call me Callum, and I'm okay with that. But it was a nice one. I really liked the name, and it kind of stuck with me, and I thought it really felt like who I was. But then later on in November of 2021, I cut my hair short. I hadn't come out to my parents by then. I just kind of said, "Hey, look at this girl who has short hair. Can I get my hair cut like that?" And we don't talk about the first haircut. It was quite bad. It was good. It was definitely better than what I was expecting based off what I'd heard about like trans people's first haircuts, and kind of it always ends up just being like a bob or something like that. But yeah, it was alright, but I definitely prefer it now that I'm actually at a barber's, and and I'm out, so people know what I'm going for. But so in February of last year, I came out to my parents. Um, it went all right, but it was a little bit mixed. It took them a while to get used to it, which I don't mind. Like, you can't expect everybody to understand straight away, especially kind of like the older generation. So it did take some time, and obviously that was quite difficult on me. Like I said, you can't expect everybody to always understand what's going on. That's changed a lot now. My parents are very supportive. And then in June of last year, or June, July, around like the end of the last school year, I came out of school. I changed my school uniform, my name, things like that. To be honest, at that point, quite a lot of people knew that I was trans or I could possibly have been trans because, I wasn't particularly feminine presenting. I had a binder by then. I'd been wearing it for a while. Like, people kind of knew, and my friends weren't very quiet about it in general, so it had spread, and nobody was shocked at all when the teacher told them. Apparently, which was nice, and it made me a lot more confident going into that. My class and my school in general is really good with that kind of thing. I'm in like equality ambassadors. We do talks. We have like outside people come in and do talks about gender identity, sexuality, things like that, which is really nice. I'm so lucky and fortunate to be in a school like that because I know quite a lot of people aren't. Then, more recently, I got onto the kids' waiting list in November, and I changed my name legally at the start of the year. So that's kind of where I'm up to in my transition now. So now on questions, we have from Sheep on Twitter, what is your long and short term plans? Short term, honestly, is just to enjoy my time as a teenager as much as I can and involve myself a lot more in the LGBTQ community, but via YouTube, and just uh, in real life, because I've been going to a lot of like concerts recently, Cave Town, No Offense, Lovejoy, involving myself in the community there and getting to know people and being involved in the LGBTQ and trans community in general. It's so amazing. It's so overwhelmingly supportive and just great to be there. I genuinely miss being at the Cave Town gig I was at like last week because it was so amazing to see just a sea of pride flags, and like obviously Robbie himself dancing around the stage. It's great, and also just to get my name changed on all my documents so that I can make sure that like traveling and everything that I do is all under my new name because that's obviously very important. And to try and be patient whilst I wait for kids to sort itself out because it's not doing very well at the moment, or possibly privately transition. That goes into like long term is just my plans are hopefully to medically transition, go into testosterone, get top surgery, things like that. So that's what I'm thinking now. I'm not fully settled on it, but I know I probably want to go on testosterone and things like that. So it's gonna be a journey, and that's why I wanted to start this before any of that happens because I want to make this content for trans people, especially coming up into the community, to be able to look on like I looked on like Theo's and Noah's journey, kind of like inspire them that they can be who they want to be. So that's the main long term plan. And also just like find out who I am and who I want to be and what I want to do in my life and make new friends both in and out of the community. Is definitely a big thing for me. Help inspire people online and activism, going to prides and things like that. Because my main goal in life is just to inspire and help as many people as I can. And this is definitely a really easy way to do that. Sheep also said, but on Discord this time, how are you feeling? And we're definitely doing a lot better than I used to be, both mental health wise and just like in general enjoying myself and feeling a lot more confident in myself. I've been having therapy since the start of this academic year at school and just working through my mental health, and it's made me so much more of a confidence person and understanding myself a lot more. As like a trans person, I feel empowered by like my transition and being able to talk about it but yet very scared because of everything going on in the news. People using the topic of trans people as kind of like a game of tennis in politics and in the media, and it's very, very difficult to see. But at the end of the day, I'm just being my authentic self. I'm helping people. I'm trying to raise awareness, and I genuinely don't believe that we should let people stop us being ourselves, and that is really important to me. Yes, people are scary. Yes, in the UK, the government may not want us to exist, but at the end of the day, we do exist and we are here, and as a community, we are a very nice bunch of people. We all are fighting for what we believe in our lives. So I think that yes, it's scary, but it's also an empowering position to be in. I generally feel a lot more comfortable with myself, although I am still very dysphoric, obviously. I haven't gone through a medical transition at all. So yeah, there's still a lot of dysphoria, especially around my voice, which is difficult when I'm in kind of like a content area the majority of the time, or I'm speaking at school, doing talks, things like that. It's very difficult to deal with, but at the end of the day, it's just who I am, and I know it will change at some point. And it's part of my journey. So you have to put a positive spin on negative things sometimes. Hufflepuff said, has there been any stereotypically male things that you've always wanted to do that you're finally able to do now? Not necessarily, because there's a lot of things that I want to be able to do, like honestly just going to the pools shirtless, and being able to sing in a tenor range, even though I'm currently working on that. But obviously there's only so far your voice can go before you're on testosterone. But like I guess like socially is like that confidence boost when being on your own and being able to stick up to yourself, and kind of people seeing you as male gives you that bit of a confidence boost. I also just getting involved more in male friendship groups. I don't have that many male friends, but I feel like people at school and online, it's just a lot easier to make friends and get involved in their jokes and things. Like at school, feeling like I can be able to join in with the people that I kind of mutually know a little bit more, and getting to know them and them involving me in their groups is great, and it's something that I've always wanted to do, because I wanted to have more of a mixed genders friend group, but that's just not really how it turns out. Honestly, there's a lot that I want to do, but I can't because I haven't medically transitioned, and that's just the reality, and that's something that I hope that I'll be able to do in the future, whenever I can medically transition, whether that's privately or through the NHS. There's a lot of different things in the trans community. There's lots of different ways of being trans, and just because I want to medically transition doesn't mean that's how everybody wants to be, and that's fully okay. And I support every way of being trans. But yeah, medical transition for me, I think, is something that's going to happen, and was one of the main motives towards making this channel, just seeing my progress, even if it's just for myself and not for anybody else, but trying to inspire others. Peanut said on Discord, do you feel more comfortable around one gender? Not particularly, which I know is something that I guess people would usually not say. I definitely have a lot more like female friends, or like trans and non-binary friends. That doesn't necessarily mean I feel more comfortable around them. It's just because I have a lot more friendships with female people, especially like in real life. But online, it's a bit of a mix. It's very, very much a mix. I usually feel the most comfortable, not necessarily around a particular gender, but around like the LGBTQ plus community as a whole. Because like they're more accepting and understanding, and you know that they are going to be an okay group to be around the majority of the time, and that like you can instantly feel safe around somebody if they're in like the LGBTQ community, because they understand what you're going through. From Hope on Discord, what's been your favorite / the most exciting thing about your transition? For me, it's probably being able to feel more myself, and like I'm finally living how I want to live instead of like how others would want me to live. It's breaking away from those like norms and what people around you are pushing onto you. It feels very freeing, and it feels like you're getting to know yourself personally rather than the person that you are adapting to be for other people. In general, I'm just very excited for the future, for a chance to like medically transition, just in general make more friends within the community, because this community is very amazing, very welcoming. I've had great experiences at like Cave Town and No Offense gigs with the people around me, and just feeling empowered in that group of like just the sea of pride flags at those gigs. I've mentioned Theo a lot. Theo's Ghost, go check him out. But his Discord is a great place. Just kind of like the online community is surrounding like people like Cave Town and No Offense and these like big trans people online. Their communities are amazing, and it will always be like a safe space for me, being able to be involved in that kind of group, see everybody going through their own journeys and helping each other out. And that's it for this video. Leave down below any ideas for content that you have for me. I'm going to attempt to upload weekly. If you want to check out my other channels, I will link them below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll have a great day. Consider liking and subscribing if you did enjoy it, and I will see you all next time. Bye!